Hey guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Greenleaf Season 2, Episode 13, Silence and Loneliness. Well, the episode starts off with... Where do we want to start off? Do we start off with Grace? Grace, she's having this dream, and it's really more so a nightmare. And guess who's still there in her dreams? Mac. That's why it's a nightmare. Mac is still there, and we see her kind of running away. Or we see her running, and then she stops, and we see this other girl running away from Mac, and we're just like, okay, this is really specific. So I'm thinking, was that you? The entire episode, I'm thinking, was that you? Because it didn't look like Grace, but again, if she was a lot younger, then she could have looked very different. Now, she gets up, it's morning time, and Sophia's father couldn't make it to the cotillion, so she's a little disappointed in that, but trying to pretend like she's not. Sophia wants to know, how's it going with, Darius? And we're kind of on an off point. I'm thinking good, because right now, you need to sort through your own stuff instead of trying to get into a new relationship. Down at Calvary, Carissa's back, and she has receipts. And when we say receipts, I mean, she brought the account. She has, like, the last 5 years of the accounting for Triumph, and they're going to use that against Basie Skanks. And even Carissa puts out there that Skanks goes by, he has his alibi, and dang it, I remember the alibi's name up until this point. I can't believe I forgot it. But anyway, oh, Basie. No, is it Basie? Or is that how you also pronounce his first name? Either way, whatever. So he goes by this alibi, and this alibi is the one that goes and, puts money back into the church, and somehow miraculously takes out hundreds of thousands of dollars as well. So they're like, oh, this is great, we can use this. And Kurt's is trying to make it very clear that she has an interest in this, not just to do the right thing, because here goes Lady May and Bishop looking at her like, we get it. We know that you're here because you want a piece of the pie. We get it. Jacob is going to go and get Triumph, and you're going to be First Lady. We already see this. We want it for him too. And I'm thinking, but Jacob doesn't want this, so how is this going to go over? This doesn't make any sense to me. But we're going to move forward. We're going to continue on. Mind you, while Bishop and Lady May are looking at Carissa like, a mess. And Jacob doesn't even know about this. Oh, a mess. But hey, as long as it gets us what we want, which is, Skanks out of here, then we don't care. Bass Reeves. That's his name. His alibi. Anyway, we then have Zora. She's in the car with Isaiah. And Zora's talking about how she wants to go to her cotillion, and it's going to be bomb. Isaiah's not really down for it, but he goes and lies and says, you know what, yeah, I guess I can go with you or whatever, and it's whatever. But Isaiah wants to talk about him. He wants it to be about him. He's hearing what she's saying, but he just looks irritated the entire time. He looks like, okay, why are you still talking? Why do we have to go and do that? Why? But now we know why he was really irritated. Charity's dealing with her own issues. She's there in Nashville. She's there with Jabari. And the thing with Jabari is that she puts out there, look, I kind of put the moves on you. I feel a little iced out. Are we or is we ain't? That's how I'll say it. Are we or is we ain't a couple? Are we or is we ain't something else? He said, you know what? I like you. I said, no. Do you like me? I like you. Let's just go with that for now. Like, girl, what's the problem? Why are you making such a big deal out of this? I'm thinking, she's not making a big deal out of anything. You're deflecting. We'll move on, because Grace, she finally shows up, and it's kind of an outreach program, but not really. So Grace shows up. She looks tired. She looks like she tried her best, but she looks like, Jesus, if this day couldn't end any sooner, it would have been a much better day. And Lady May sees that and says, oh, honey, do you want to just go back to sleep or something? Because that's fine too. You don't have to go and stress yourself out by coming and attending this. And Grace doesn't want to do that, because the thing is, her mind is playing tricks on her. It's just an idle playground, so she wants to keep busy. She even goes to take the initiative. It's like, come on, Ma, I'll drive you. Which we know she never does. So Lady May said, oh, I'm being treated today? Little me. Oh, you shouldn't have. Again, it's still weird to see Lady May and Grace on one accord, but I'm happy as long as this is real. And this isn't just a temporary front until something happens, and then they blow up and becomes a real issue again. Because Lady May never really liked Grace. It was never the other way around. So, we'll just tread lightly. Tread very lightly. Guess who pops up at Triumph? Yes, Bishop. Bishop pops up like, hey, what's good? What's good? Bass Reeves. Saying something to him like, yes, I know that you've been embezzling from your own church. I know that you're financially, that, you know, you're financially in the hole for at least a certain amount of money. Here's what I can do to help. I don't want to hear a word you have to say. Why are you even talking to me? Why are you even talking to me? Excuse me, here's how this works, you little serpent, you little succubus, you little siren. Go and take that noise somewhere else. Ain't nobody got time for you. Nobody got time for this mess. Ain't nobody got. Next thing we know, we see, you know, basically the ruffian that originally came last week that looked like he wanted to knock Basie out comes back. We don't see what happens then, but we know something happens. Cherry is in the studio with the woman that she was supposed to create the song for, and the client, as I'll call her, she's not pleased. She says the song is good, but it sounds very somber. Cherry said, yes, that's how I wanted it. It sounds good. Don't get me wrong, and it is a good song if I wanted a somber record. I want something a little bit more joyful. I mean, days are gone of the gospel just being somber. We want joy. We want to bring joy. We want to bring uplifting. We're not on that tip that you're on. So I just want to change this and that. And she's over it. And Jabari realizes that, so he takes over like, okay, so whatever you want. I just want to make you happy. You know, yeah, she'll be fine with it too. So what do we want to do? Do we want to change here? At the master? Yeah, here. Okay, at the bridge. Oh, yeah, the chorus. You just want to cut all of Charity's lines there. Just take that one line. Okay, cool. Perfect. We'll make it work. Don't worry about it. We'll make it work. Now, they actually went to, as far as the outreach this week, they went to a nursing home. And we see, I said, wait a minute. Is that the same actor that plays Randall's mother on If Loving You Is Wrong? I said, what are you doing here? Anyway. If that was her, it may not have. It sounded like her, kind of looked like her, but maybe it wasn't. So she was saying how she had to, you know, get someone fired here. Grace is looking at her like, what? Yes, I had to get someone fired here because she was rude and she was also very rough. She was someone who shouldn't have been working here. So I said something about it, and they fired her. I love the new woman that they have here working with us. So great. And Grace looked at her and said, yeah, I'm really glad that you said something about that, and, you know, you got the results. You know, no one deserves, you know, to be treated that badly or, you know, to be taken advantage of. And I'm thinking, Grace, who are we talking about? Because this kind of sounds like you're trying to convince yourself almost. That's what I was getting from Grace. I was getting from Grace that, you know what, there's something I need to say. I don't know how to say it. I don't know who to say it to. I don't know if now is a good time to do it or if I should have just done it a while ago. And that's my whole thing with that. Oh yeah, guys, by the way, I know with the audio's been kind of off compared to how my videos used to sound. At least for the short foreseeable future, it's going to stay that way. I do apologize. I think it really is my camera, which is less than a year old, and I've dropped it so many times, so thankfully nothing else is wrong with it right now, but the audio converter for it, it's sold out. Forget how much it costs, because I have a GoPro, and the newest one, you know, you can't even get the adapter anywhere else except for really GoPro website, and they're sold out. All the affiliates are sold out. So until then, bear with me, and I'm also looking into seeing if, you know, if I can use my laptop, if the quality's right, or, you know, get some gear to just do stuff off from my laptop going forward. But because that'd be nice. I would also like to do some podcasts, or at least pseudo podcast on here. Anyway, always thinking about the next thing. So now we're back. We see Skanks. He's beat up, and his wife, Tasha's over it. Tasha's crying because she's like, "Look, I told you that you shouldn't have been doing this stuff. You didn't listen to me, and because of that, now you got beat up. My baby got beat up, and I don't know what to do. I don't." So now Jabari, they're done with the session, and it went well. The client is pleased. They're gonna have a dinner. Technically, it's supposed to be in Charity's honor since it's Charity's song. And Charity said, "Oh yeah, well, yeah, if I'm invited, if I'm supposed to go, then yeah, I'll happily go." And then he was like, "Oh, okay, bye-bye." Notice how the woman gave Jabari a hug, but didn't really do anything with Charity because she knew something was wrong with her. So then Jabari needs to know what's going on. It's like, she messed up my song. I'm thinking, Charity, you don't understand what it means to be a songwriter? The artist will I know for a fact that Beyonce goes and she'll have her team go and consult with maybe like 20 different writers and producers and all of that. And she'll take bits and pieces from every single one of them, combine it into something new and great and amazing. And that's just how it is. If you don't want to go that route, then you're going to have to be an artist yourself. Because people, even if it's not their product, if they're going to be singing it, they want it to be sung the way that they envision or how they would do it if they could just come up with all of it themselves. But Jabari realizes, all right, so we're going to go and get this stuff done. We're going to talk about, the relationship or how I like you or how I don't like you. Because again, Charity was saying how you kissed her on the cheek. So do you and I kiss you? So is this just what we do here in the music industry where we just kiss? And I said, yeah. I'm thinking, yeah. But he was like, no, it's not like that. Look, we'll talk about this, but not right now. And that's why initially I thought, my worst suspicion is that he really just cares about making money off of her, making money with her, and that's it. But there's more to the story. Grace and Gigi, they're kind of walking back, and Grace is just kind of saying again how, I really enjoyed myself. And Lady Mae said, yeah, me too. And she said, yeah, definitely doing stuff like that's important. But Lady Mae then said, look, honey, I'm just letting you know right now, she wants to die first. She wants to die first and quickly because she doesn't want to go and languish, in the abyss of nothingness, essentially, if she's incapacitated or has to be put in a group home. Because even if it's a nice one, it's just not what she's used to, the lifestyle that she wants to live. So she'd rather not live at all. I said, dang, Lady Mae. I know a lot of people who feel the same way, but dang. Zora is still in the car with Isaiah, the longest car ride ever. And we see that Isaiah is over it. He's been over it. He already kind of told Zora, to put your seatbelt on. Like, what are you doing? So while they're driving, she's saying how, this the cotillion, that the cotillion. That's great until Zora says that she doesn't want to go to Isaiah's concert, because his concert's the same week as her cotillion, and she's looking at him like, dude, I told you that I had this prior engagement that I was really interested in. And he's looking at her like, I heard what you said, but I don't want to go to no cotillion. I'm thinking, oh Lord, here we go. So while he's driving, he goes and he stomps on the brake and then pulls over to the side. She goes flying head first into the dashboard, and I'm thinking, you did it on purpose. And this is why, Zora, you are officially in an abusive relationship, whether you realize it or not. We thought that he hit you, and I was trying to see how they were going to handle something like that on this show, especially with their age. But they went the other route. They went the abuse happens in many forms. First, he tried to degrade you. Second, now he's inadvertently, physically harmed you. He didn't use his own hands and feet or head. He used the car itself, the vehicle that you were in. And he said, instead of, at some point apologizing, he just said, I told you to put your seatbelt on the right way. I said, regardless if that's true or not, you did that on purpose to try and check me because you were upset that I wasn't going to something that you were going to. Really? Really? So then she says, no, I want to go home. I'm thinking, Zora, just get out of the car and call someone. Because this was giving me flashbacks of 2009. Anyway, but then she was like, all right, whatever. So he just apparently drives her back. Now, Carissa has to talk with Jacob. No. Am I jumping ahead? No, Carissa was talking to Bishop, and trying to figure out how Jacob's going to take this since Jacob doesn't know about it. Next thing we know, we hear knock, knock, knock. Who's knocking on her door? Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Let me stop. And then Tasha flies in, and she's so happy to see even Bishop, because she's like, I need your help. I need your help. It's Skanks. He's in trouble. And we already know he got beat up, and she doesn't know what to do because, again, all of his illegal activities, they've been hiding it, so they can't even go to anyone to really help them out. They have no one to help them out. She knows that, so she brings in the one person that knows about it and hasn't ratted him out yet. So Bishop comes to the church with her to see Skanks, and Skanks is over. He's pissed. He's like, no, I don't want anything from you. Don't call me son. Don't call me son. I want nothing from you. See, you're only here out of guilt. You're only here out of guilt, trying to do something for me out of guilt. I said at this point, you need to go and accept whatever you can. So then Bishop made him a deal. He said, make Jacob the new pastor. Mind you, the plan is to make Triumph, Calvary 2 at some point. Jacob doesn't know that, neither does Carissa, but I don't think she really cares at this point. So make Jacob the pastor, and turn yourself in, because, and we'll make sure that it's done discreetly, versus, bringing you through the muck and the mud and everything that you're trying to avoid. We can help you out with, but you have to go and take the first steps, be a man, take responsibility. Skanks looked at his wife, and she was like, yeah, you need to do this. At this point, we have nothing else to, lose or gain from you trying to do that. So then he says, all right, you got a deal. I'm thinking, we accept Skanks to honor this deal. No. Nope. We see again that, but this was in real life. Gigi was walking that same path, going to, it looked like this cave or this alcove, or almost like a mining area, whatever it was. It was the same area she was in her dream, so she knows about it. Which we knew that she knew about it. Back at the house, Carissa is talking to Jacob, and Jacob's over the fact that you went over me again to go and do stuff. I told you not to do that. Now, the thing is, I want to make something very clear. In my last review, I just want everyone to know, because no one got on me for this, but I just want to make sure everyone knows, I do agree that it was very I did say that it was disrespectful that she went and did all that stuff behind his back and put his stuff out there, especially since they had the conversation in the house saying that they wouldn't tell that to anyone. So, or at least he asked, and she kind of said, yeah, sure, whatever. But I want to make something very clear. Jacob, bless his heart, Jacob has a really good heart. He does have ambition, he does have drive, and he does have direction. But sometimes he really can't see the forest from the trees. Jacob's one of those people that will he won't end up destitute because he has people in his back pocket, but he's one of those people that have the luxury of doing certain things and acting a certain way. Jacob has a certain level of privilege that I think needs to be addressed. He has a certain level of privilege that allows him to go and think, oh, well, I just want to do this. Oh, I don't need to do that. He did sacrifice a lot, so I'll definitely add that as a couple of points, to him. But that privilege and that, oh, I'm just going to do this because I just want to, you have a family, so you always have to think a little bit differently. And what the direction he was going in, it wasn't going to be fruitful enough to take care of their responsibilities. So with Carissa going in and taking the reins and saying, look, now you're going to be the pastor, do it. I'm thinking, one, he can always say no, which we know Jacob would say no anyway. But two, you should, now I'm getting on Carissa. You just want to be first lady. You want power. And I see it. And I've always seen it. Jacob is going to be either a baseball star or a mega pastor or preacher. So you always had big dreams and aspirations for your husband. And also for yourself, as you should. But there's something really sketchy. And there's always been something really sketchy about it. And now we know that it's confirmed, like I said, that that's all you really wanted. But I'm glad that Jacob's going to go and at least hear out Skanks. And Jacob's like, I don't want this responsibility. I have something real. And he's like, oh yeah, the real Church of Memphis. Yeah, I do believe that you're a good person. I believe that you're a wholesome person. I think that's the type of person that should take control of this church. It's a mega church. It has a lot of responsibilities and a lot of burdens. And I think that you're the person to handle that and reform it, remake it into something that you can be proud of. If you feel like right now it's not something you'd want your name in front of. And he said, look, I'm not giving this to you because, oh, I just have to. I want you to take it as a friend, as my brother, as someone who I actually like and believe in, someone who has had my back. I need you to do this for me. And I thought to myself, it's not the biggest sacrifice. It really isn't. There's always a way to do both. Jacob, there really is. Just take this. Just take this. And also, on the other hand, I'm thinking, Jacob's always been kind of sacrificing in some way, shape, or form. So that's the only thing I felt a little bit bad about. But we know Bishop is happy. He's like, look, I'm talking to Lady May. Lady May said, do we have this in writing? Because of his his illegal doings, I don't think he has much of a choice, him as far as Skanks, to honor the deal or not. Lady May said, yeah, we'll see about that. We shall see about that. Let's see. Grace was talking to, who was it, Darius? Well, she's going to talk to Darius soon, but that's fine. Jacob, he's at the house. He's talking to Carissa. He's still trying to decide what he wants to do because we know Jacob is stubborn. And Jacob's the type of guy who literally, here's the water right here, Jacob. Drink. You're about to die, Jacob. Drink. Yeah, but it's not the water that I got for myself. It's not the water that, spelled W-A-T-E-E-R or W-A-T-E-R-R. That's just how Jacob is. So he's talking to Carissa. Carissa has his back. As we know, she wants to be the first lady of a mega church instead of a church without walls. Are you kidding me? Jabari finally confesses his love for Cherry and tells her, I love you immensely. That's not the issue. The issue is you have a son. You have a baby. You don't even have a son. You have a baby, and I want to respect that. I don't want to be someone who just comes in and tries to take all of your time away from your child. I said, am I hearing respect? This is weird. Continue. So he says, and I like you. I like you. So that's when he kissed her, and he kissed her with a passionate kiss. He said, I like you. I respect you. I love your talent. I love everything about you. I just want us to take things slow so that if it doesn't work out, it doesn't just crash and burn. So I said, oh, someone will respect. This is kind of throwing me off. Oh, okay, whatever. If that's the angle we want to go with. We'll see how long this lasts. Hopefully it's successful. As soon as Cherry gets something good, some foolishness comes back, which means something about Kevin is going to happen next week, which we know. Grace tells Darius that before Faith was molested by, what do you call it? See that before Faith was raped by Mac tried it with Grace. And it finally makes sense because I knew that there was something. There was just always something extra. It was more than just you did this to my sister. It always had the energy of you tried to do this to me or you did this to me. So we found out he tried to do it to her. It was again at that alcove cave on the property. She at first didn't realize what was going on because he invited her. He made it seem like it was really cool to be there. But then once he tried to make the moves, she was able to get away before, anything further happened. And she never told anyone. And that's why she kind of championed for all those girls and, to try and get Faith's truth put out there because she always felt like, because she didn't speak, everyone else who was affected were affected because of her. And I'm thinking, one, your family didn't believe that Faith was molested. So, and your mother didn't like you. So I'm sure she wouldn't have believed that either, even if she knew in her heart of hearts if it was real. Two, don't victim blame. It is never your fault. Three, Mac is trash and a huge manipulator, so he would have spun that. I don't know how, but he would have. And the thing is, it's a good thing you didn't say anything at this point, because they could have said, oh, you purposely killed him. Trust and believe. They'll do that real quick. So keep that to yourself. I'm glad you said to someone, like Darius said, now that you're free from it, it can't hold you any longer because you are free from it. And I'm thinking, yeah, just don't say it to the rest of your family, because someone's going to say something stupid. I know the Greenleafs. They're going to say something stupid. So Bishop is happy because he's like, all right, it's time for us to get exactly what we want. Good times are coming. And I'm thinking, where's Miss Cross in all this? Where is she? I haven't seen her all episode. Anyway, Isaiah, he's singing his little heart out, or lip singing his little heart out. And the girl he was singing with, she looks really familiar, and it irks me that I don't know. I like that song, though. That song was, what was it? Oh, won't he do it? He said he will. What? Won't he do it? He said he won't he do it? He said he will. I know that's right. Anyway, Skanks then gets up on there and talks about how, you know what? I've sinned against you guys and I've done some stuff. I'm not going to go into detail, but I have to step down, to collect myself. I need to get myself together. I wanted to bring up Jacob because, you know, he's a good man. He's a wholesome man. He was actually part of this church before, and he's going to be taking over now. I said, okay, great, cool. People are kind of, what is going on? He's like, clap for this man. Clap for him. He's your leader from now on. Grace went to the same area again, just looking at everything, just looking at the lake, just, I guess, pondering, and now she feels better because her truth is finally out. Skanks bailed, as we knew he would. He left his wife there. And she was just like, yeah, he left. I didn't go because I'm not, even though I'm ready to die, I'm not trying to die. So I'm not going on the run with him. I'm going to stay here. I'm thinking, Tasha's actually been pretty truthful. So I'm just going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that, okay, I'll believe you, even though part of me is always thinking, if you say so, type of thing. But all right. So Lady May gives her some support. And then once Tasha goes to the farewell party, Lady May and Bishop are just like, oh, so this is going to be his new place. Kind of bleak, but we'll get it together. Don't worry about it. And then we see that Lady May's ex calls Bishop and says, I'm on my way because I need to tell you something. I said, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I don't. I'm ready to see it because I know it's going to be some mess. Aaron's coming back and looks like issue with him being gay.